going on, Jerome's? So the Minnesota Vikings signed veteran cornerback Shaq Griffin this offseason, hopefully solidifying one of the outside cornerback spots and getting him back to where he once belonged. Former Pro Bowler back in Seattle, and also his skill set definitely caters to what the Vikings are going to do on the outside this year. But it was so frustrating. A second day of practice, he went down with apparent ankle injury, and this on the heels of Mekhi Blackmon tearing his ACL first day of practice. It was just no good, and understandably, a lot of Vikings fans were frustrated, but some very good news on Saturday. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gershman. Vikings quarterback Shaq Griffin has a soft tissue injury in his lower left leg, Kevin O'Connell said. Could be a week or so before he's ready to return. In the meantime, O'Connell said, I do think we're going to need to add the position to make sure that we have enough of a head count, yada, yada, yada. But it's good news. And Griffin was listed as day-to-day. And frankly, that was probably the best possible outcome from the injury. So he looks to potentially be back into the fold as things get ramped up, maybe even before the first preseason game, which is fantastic, man. And Griffin, even though Griffin's been around the block, I mean, he's still only 29, and he looked really good at OTAs. Basically running exclusively with the first team at left corner. Just turned 29 in July. This graphic is from free agency in March. But he was great in Seattle. Former Pro Bowler there, got paid in Jacksonville. Schematically didn't really fit in, sort of bounced around. Former Texan, of course. That's what we do, man. But Griffin, given his press man style, like it was going to fit in perfectly with what Flores wants to do this year. So got lucky. Got really lucky that Shaq Griffin should be ready to rock and roll here in a couple days or a week, because, I mean, Shaq and Murph are really the only two that are really solidified of their role going forward. Evans has been in the mix with the Mekhi Blackmon as well as with the Griffin injury. Duke Shelley's been getting some run as well. He is back again. Duke is back. Tell a friend. Booth Jr., hopefully rising up a little bit, trying to get something out of him in year 3. Dwight McGlothern, the UDFA out of Arkansas, I love a lot. They just signed Jacoby Francis to take Blackman's spot on the 90-man, but he looks to be a camp body. But what stood out is O'Connell inferring heavily that they would add in the cornerback room, and Kevin Seifert continues. More O'Connell on the quarterback situation, quote, there could be some impact players out there that might be interested in joining our team. Who wants to join our team? We're going to have tryouts. And that's what Kwesi and his staff are working through right now. So, of course, Kwesi working the phones. Like, even when you got the 90-man rooster, you're constantly churning and burning and trying to improve every single spot on this roster. Now, we've talked about the pie in the sky options for the Vikings, right? So trading for Lattimore or waiting until James Bradbury gets cut, although he might be washed. I don't know. Or Tariq Woolen one time. Let's go get Reek one time. But free agents. So, of course, Xavier Howard does have that experience with Flores, but Howard does have some off-the-field issues from this offseason. J.C. Jackson as well as Stephon Gilmore obviously have experience with Brian Flores as well. If given the choice, like, I would pay up for Gilmore. Like, even if Shaq is good to go, I would pay the $8-9 million it's going to take to land Stephon Gilmore. You could say, like, well, this would be his 5th team in 5 years. Yeah, fully understand that, because he's reached the mercenary part of his career, but he still can bring it. He still is a fantastic man-to-man corner. You can make a good case. Over the last decade, Gilmore has been the best man corner in the league, or at least he's top 3 and he ain't 3 sort of situation, and still has some good football left on him. Patrick Peterson, nah. Adoree Jackson is out there as well, former USC Trojan. Plus, we talked about Joejuan Williams had experience last year and also signed a futures contract with the Vikings before being let go in March. He would make sense for someone that does have experience with what is going on here. But either way, like, Stephon Gilmore, just no matter, like, I'm in. I'm fully in on Stephon Gilmore, or, like we talked about, J.C. Jackson, mama, I can change him. He worked out in New England, and he had a fantastic season there before in 2021, second-team All-Pro, before he signed the massive deal with the Chargers. But really, that was more about Brandon Staley not using it properly. He is a press man corner, and then you got him playing off in zone. Now, for specifically what the Vikings want to do, J.C. Jackson can work it. Plus, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt about J.C. Jackson not working out because of whatever reasons, but I actually feel like that's the Chargers sort of covering their own ass, just leaking things to the media and even putting things on their official site. So, I mean, if you want to have a cheap option take J.C. Jackson. Flores would certainly know if he could work with him or not. But I'm more on the Stephon Gilmore train. I believe that's Mr. Gilmore's. Or who knows? Maybe Kwesi will just do nothing. Just completely rickroll us. But either way, fantastic news on Shaq Griffin. I'm glad that he avoided major injury. Ice up. Let's get after things. We're going to need you, baby. That's right, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Shaq Griffin, soft tissue, lower left leg injury, day-to-day. Aren't we all? Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.